Hello and welcome to Berwick Mitsubishi. My name's Wayne, and first off I'd like to thank you very much for your inquiry on our 2014 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. Today I'm going to take you through a full video walk around presentation of the features and benefits of this particular vehicle, and also a full condition report so you know exactly what you're looking at and there's no hidden surprises when you come down to see the vehicle with us. Starting at the front, you'll note it does have the Xenon headlights there, which does have the headlight washer. Now this actually comes out of the front bar and puts water onto the headlight there when you use your windscreen washers to help keep those headlights clear at night as well. Got the fog lights down the bottom there, and this particular one has actually been fitted with a very slimline nudge bar at the front, which has a large LED light bar, which is great for your nighttime driving, avoiding any animals or anything else that might come out at night. The bonnet itself is in excellent condition as far as I can see. There's very minimal chipping, couple that have been touched up just at the front there and maybe one on the bonnet here, but other than that the paintwork there is very clean, and the headlights are all in good condition there as well. Moving down the side of the vehicle, you will note that it is the metallic grey, probably the most popular colour in the Mitsubishi Outlander range, and the badging here, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, is obviously what the PHEV stands for. Alloy wheel at the front, all in good condition with pretty much a brand new tyre attached to that one there. You'll note it does have the side indicator up in the side mirror here, which does take it off that guard, giving it a nice cleaner finish. There is a slight mark on the bottom of the mirror there, which we'll try and cut out there as well. The door itself, all in excellent condition. It does have proximity keys, which means if you push this button it will lock and unlock the car, and then it is a push button start. So the benefit of that is you never have to take the key out of your pocket or your handbag, wherever you might be carrying it. Back door here, again, paintwork's all in excellent condition, all very clean. You've got your filler on this side here, so one of them is going to be for your petrol, one of them will be the plug-in for the electric unit, which we'll go through in detail as well. Then your back alloy wheel here does still have very good tyre on the back and is pretty much unmarked, good condition there as well. PHEV Outlander at the back has a really nice styling lights. You'll notice that they're completely clear. They are an LED display in there with coloured globes rather than the actual coloured plastic. What that does, just gives it a nice sleek look, and that chrome silver backing goes in line with all of your chrome touches on the car there as well. It does have 4-point colour-coded reverse sensors, making it really easy to park, and it's also got the factory reverse camera up here on the tailgate there as well. This particular car has been fitted with the square hitch tow bar and the flat 7-pin plug. Moving into the back, good thing about the Outlander is there is a stack of space, even being a plug-in hybrid car with a big battery in the back. What that means is you don't end up with a spare wheel. What you get instead is a puncture repair kit. You get this special goo that you put into the tyre, that'll seal it, and then up a bit further under here you've got your air compressor where you can pump the wheel back up. That'll get you to the tyre shop and then they can fix it properly. You've also got your electric charge cord, which as I mentioned gets plugged in. That'll give the car a nice electric charge overnight and give you a decent amount of driving on electric mode only. And when we're inside we'll go through a bit more detail about the charging system itself. Being super particular, there's a tiniest little mark on the bar there, more like a tiny little dent, but you might not even see it unless it's in the right light there. Moving down the passenger side, again very clean, nothing obvious to note in the paintwork itself. Again, another fuel filler, petrol will be on this side. Most Mitsubishis are all filled on the left hand side. Rear alloy wheel there, condition wise is unmarked guys, very clean. This car is definitely a credit to the previous owner. For the year and mileage on the car, it's definitely been very well kept. You note the glass at the back here is privacy glass, so the glass at the front's very clear. This has got a dark tint to it. Again, it just provides additional privacy. Not a huge amount of UV protection there, so if you wanted to look at tinting these windows, you go darkest legal on the front, and then we can arrange to have a clear UV film put on the back, and then that'll match them up and you get maximum protection, and we can take care of that if that's something you wish to add in. Again, being very particular guys, I'll get out of the shadow there, there's a tiny little mark just on the door there, about 1 centimetre in length. Nothing really bad for the age and mileage, and again rest of the car here is in excellent condition, and that front alloy wheel there is completely unmarked with a pretty much new tyre on there as well. So under the bonnet here, you'll note the two engines that this hybrid electric vehicle has. So it's got an independent 2-litre petrol engine, and then it's got your electric engine there as well. Now, the combination of these two is where you get your amazing fuel efficiency from, and obviously the benefit globally is that you're not using as much petrol and causing as many fumes to go into the atmosphere. The 2-litre petrol engine puts out 87 kilowatts of power and 186 newton meters of torque. So for an SUV, 2 litres is big enough and it will carry the weight of the car pretty well. But combining that with the electric engine puts out 60 kilowatts on its own and 137 newton meters of torque. So if you do put your foot down hard to get off the line, it'll actually combine the two engines together, maximizing the amount of power that you have. The statistics on the combined fuel economy are as low as 1.9 litres per 100 Ks. Now this is based on a certain amount of driving that you would do, maximising the electric efficiency. So you would charge the vehicle overnight, and if you're doing short trips from home to school, 10 kilometres there, 10 kilometres back, and you drive it in a mild manner, you'll actually be able to get there and home easily without using any petrol at all. If you do go over a certain speed, over 60 k's an hour, the car will automatically kick your 2-litre engine in, and it'll just be cruising mode, because the most efficient way to run a petrol engine is once it's at speed. This will be the best way to maximise the fuel efficiency. But if you are someone who just does those short trips from home to work or home to school and back, you could theoretically drive this car just in electric mode by plugging it in and charging it. When that electric does run out, if the battery does run out, then what will happen is the petrol engine will kick in and it will begin using that power and the drive of the vehicle to start charging the electric batteries. And then once it's charged a bit, it'll drop your petrol engine out and continue to run electric only. This is the way standard hybrid vehicles do work. They run the petrol, charge a battery, drive on electric after that until it runs out. With this one, you have the ability to actually plug it in and charge it overnight, so you get the benefit of the full battery taking off from home and then driving back again as well. So sitting inside the PHEV now, we'll give you a full rundown of all the interior features and condition inside as well. There is quite a lot to talk about. Starting on the driver's side, you'll find the door card itself is in excellent condition with this really nice metallic finish on the door itself. Full power windows, automatic up and down on the driver's window, got the power lock here to stop the kids in the back from playing with it, central locking to lock and unlock your doors there, and then your power mirrors on the side here as well. There's an additional switch being put in just behind the steering wheel here, which would be assuming the front light bar, because that's got to have its own isolation switch. Then you've got two other buttons here. Sonar button, which is for the reverse park assist to be turned on and off when you are towing, so you don't get the annoying beeping with the trailer, and a button here which is like a sonar noise, because when this car runs in battery mode it's silent and people don't hear the car coming. So when you are driving, there's a small noise that's emitted from the front of the vehicle, and you can actually turn that off if you want to be completely silent. There's also your electronic stability control button here, and then you've got this little button on the side which is also for your trip computer. If we look in behind the steering wheel on the middle of the dash there, you'll see distance to empty of 235. We've currently got the car in charge mode, so it's running the petrol engine and currently charging the batteries up at a slow rate. If I push this button, you'll see average litres per 100 Ks, and electric vehicle driving is currently at 48%. And then this one here actually shows what the engine is doing and what is driving the wheels. So the engine at the moment is sitting still on idle, and it's putting the power to the battery, so it's charging. If we were to start driving, that arrow will actually move down to the wheel and it'll show that it's actually making the wheels turn instead. This is your eco mode. So across the middle of the dash there is an eco mode button just here. If you do put that in, it'll drop the amount of power the vehicle's using, again to maximize your fuel efficiency. The next one is your super all-wheel drive control mode. So that'll actually show you the amount of force being put towards each side of the vehicle, and when your next service is going to be due, and then you've got your trip A, trip B, and again your fuel and battery to empty. On the steering wheel itself, it is a leather bound steering wheel. You've got your cruise control here on the right hand side, stereo controls on the left hand side, along with your voice activated Bluetooth, your pick up and your hang up buttons. On the back of the steering wheel it does have your paddle shift controls for changing gears, which is important when it comes to the braking mode that the battery has as well. On the right hand stalk we've got our headlight and our indicator controls. Does have auto headlights, and there's a button on the side here for those headlight washers as I was mentioning earlier on, and your fog light control is also on there. On the left hand stalk we've got our wiper controls for the rear wiper as well as the front wipers there as well, and you'll note behind there is the power button for starting and stopping the car. The steering wheel itself is telescopic, so you can pull it backwards and forwards towards yourself as well as going up and down, so a lot of movement in that steering wheel to get it in your optimum spot. A really nice display behind the steering wheel, guys. You've got a really neat rev tacker on the left hand side. Now it actually shows the charge zone for the battery being charged, eco, which is going to be your most fuel efficient, and then obviously your power mode when both the electric and the petrol engine are running together to maximize that power. Got the color LCD screen in the middle showing you your battery gauge and also your fuel gauge in the middle, and that center section showing you what gear you're in, and then the odometer there at just under 77,000. Big speedo on the right hand side with your white illuminated numbers is nice and easy to read, and you've also got the little display bit up the top here which says it's in normal mode and it's also locked in charge mode to charge the battery. We'll go through the differences shortly. Moving across to the middle, we've got our Mitsubishi multi-communication center. So this has a massive amount of information in there. So at the moment I've put it into the trip area so you can see some information it's got in terms of monitoring your energy, what the air conditioner is using, how much power the car's got, and these will change as you're actually driving. And then you can select different areas, and you can see there that the petrol engine is running and it's actually putting the charge down into these battery cells underneath the car. And then when you are driving, if you have it on this screen here, what you'll find is that it will actually change and it'll show these down to the wheels, and the wheels will be turning because that power is now gone to there. And if you're in both, it'll draw it from the battery as well. So a massive amount of information in regards to what the car itself can do. In terms of audio, if we push the audio button, it does have a number of different modes for your audio. You've got Bluetooth music streaming, you've got your USB input, you've got AM, FM radio, and also CD, which is housed inside the unit itself. We've also got navigation, which Mitsubishi's system is actually very easy to use and quite detailed as well, with all your point of interest and detailed stops on there as well. And the last thing to show on the screen there is the reverse camera. So when we pop it into reverse there, you can see nice guidelines for where you're parking. You've got your tow bar, so you can clearly see if you're reversing to put that up to something or backing up to something, and that red line is obviously a guide for where we should be stopping. In here we've got passenger warning for not having their seatbelt on, hazard lights, and as I mentioned, the eco mode button there as well. Nice piano black finish around that center console area there as well, so that actually finishes the interior off quite nicely. We've got dual zone climate control, so if you haven't had that before, it means I like my temperature nice and low, but now that's on auto climate, so I was going to try and drop it straight to 18 degrees while the fan flared straight up, but maybe your passenger likes it to be hot, so you can go dual zone climate and put that side on 24 degree temperature and this side on 18. Otherwise, if you don't want it to be that way, you can just put it on to synchronize mode, and then that won't have that dual side. Now, off, fan speed, obviously hitting the mode button there was changing the direction of the air, and then you've got your front windscreen demister and your recirculated air there. Moving down under here, we've got 12 volt power outlet here, and we've also got a slot here, so if the key battery actually runs low, you can stick the key inside there and the vehicle will still start. And you've got a large storage compartment at the front as well as two really big cup holders. These the proximity keys I was talking about before. So you've got your lock and unlock buttons, but all you need to do is walk up to that button on the door, push it, and that'll unlock it. Get in and put your foot on the brake and hit that power button, and that will start the vehicle. Moving down to the gear stick now. What this is basically it's different to your normal gear stick. So as a normal stance, the park button is at the top. So you push this button, that puts the car into park. Now if you want to take it out of park, you need to follow the directions on the top of the stick here. So move it across to neutral, push it up to go into reverse, and now we're currently in reverse, the camera's popped back in. If you want to go to drive, you need to pull it across and pull it down into drive. Now we're currently selected into drive. Now the last one is B. Now this is regenerative braking mode, and what that means is it will actually use, if we pull it down, it'll actually use the electric engines to create kinetic energy by spinning those wheels and using that energy to then charge the battery. So if you do drive somewhere, let's say you go for a nice weekend drive, you're up a mountain, you've got a long downhill drive, you put it into this mode, and what it'll do is it feels a little bit like being in a manual car and taking your foot off the clutch. The engine itself is going to slow the drive of the vehicle down a little bit, and by slowing it down a little bit, that creates the energy that will then charge the battery. It's also a good way of preserving your brake pads, because the car will slow down a little bit without needing to apply the actual brake pad. Two buttons here, charge and save. So if you are driving along and you've got half a battery and you know you just want to use that battery later on, you can actually push the save button and that will leave the battery charged to that specific point. Or if you want to try to drive the car and charge the battery all the way up, you can select charge and that will leave the petrol engine running the whole time and continuously put charge into the battery. Just in the short time we've been sitting in the car having it on charge mode, you'll note there at the bottom of the battery gauge, that's how much it's already charged up the battery gauge just by sitting there for a few minutes with the petrol engine running. This last button down in the middle here, twin motor 4-wheel drive lock, what this does is it'll actually lock in both of the motors, giving you maximum power, but it will also lock in all four wheels, therefore making it a locked all-wheel drive mode. It's great for if you're on slippery surfaces, maybe you're going up to the snow or on some sand or light gravel. That just gives you that extra traction required. Got a good size center console, got a nice tray at the top which is great for separating your goods in there, and then underneath that you'll note the USB input there as well as another 12-volt power outlet socket there as well. Moving through the rest of the vehicle, we'll just give you a good run through. It does have partial leather interior with this really nice neat patterned interior on those seats, that metallic finish across the rest of the dash and the doors, and a nice dark interior trim, all in excellent condition. Again, this car is a credit to the previous owner. They've certainly looked after it really well with almost no wear and tear evident that I can see inside. With the servicing, you do have all of the books. You've got the big owner's manual. You've also got the CD that comes with the MMCS unit in the dash with the navigation, and with the service and warranty booklet here, it's been serviced very well. You'd almost be able to assume it's definitely a one owner vehicle because all the servicing's been done at the same service department. So it's been serviced at 15,000, 30,000, 46, 61, 70, and we've done an intermediate service here, 76,000 Ks there as well. So very well serviced. You've got both of the proximity keys and just a beautiful car. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our walk around video presentation on our 2014 PHEV Outlander. Again, thank you for inquiring on this vehicle. As you can see by the video, the quality of the car certainly speaks for itself. A little bit more information about us before I go though. My name is Wayne Simmons. I'm the used vehicle manager. I've been lucky enough to work with Paul and Chris, the owners of this genuine family owned and run business for nearly 11 years now. And if you look us up on Google, our reputation certainly precedes us with a 4.8 out of 5 star rating with over 800 reviews from customers all over Australia, giving us the reputation that should give you the assurance that you're buying a great quality vehicle and from the right people. In regards to these videos, it's something we're at the forefront of. We've got nearly 3,500 videos now on our YouTube channel, and more surprisingly, we have 7,500 subscribers on there, meaning people are enjoying the technology we use now to promote the business, but also help you make an informed decision that this will be the right car for you to buy. If you'd like to give us a call on 9907 0555 to either arrange a test drive or take advantage of securing this as your new car, given the fact you know everything about it and the condition is spot on, please don't hesitate in calling us. We'd love the opportunity to do business with you. And just before I go, the other thing to mention is this does qualify for our premium mechanical protection plan. This is a 5-year mechanical cover to give you additional peace of mind once this new car warranty has expired. Goes for 5 years, up to 200,000 Ks on the clock, $3,000 per individual claim and unlimited claims across the range. And it will also give you up to 10 years of premium Australia-wide roadside assistance. It will come at an extra fee, but I think when we go through the benefits of that, you will see massive value in it and be happy to look at it. And if you are choosing to finance with us in-house with Bank of Melbourne, one of our business managers, Julie or Mario, will be able to tell you just how small the difference in that weekly payment may be. Again, thank you so much for listening. Appreciate your time, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Look forward to talking to you soon.